Hi, second grade. I just want to do a little bit of review with our word problems, just so we don't lose it, in terms of when to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Okay. So as you're reading a problem, one of the strategies I use is I try to think about what and visualize what's actually happening. And you can draw that, or you can kind of act it out, just see it in your mind. Okay. So for instance, if we're adding, we might have two different amounts that we're putting together. Now, if we're adding the same amount several times, that's going to be multiplication. But anytime we're putting something together, it's either adding or it's multiplication. So for instance, if I said that Clara has 326 stickers and Cyrus has 254 stickers, and I said they are going to put them together into one sticker book. If we're putting them together, we're adding. We have two different numbers, we're going to add them together. Okay. If I have those same numbers though, and we're comparing them, and I say, how many more stickers does Clara have? She has more. How many more does she have? That doesn't mean that they're putting them together in a sticker book. It means we're going to take away what Cyrus has to see what she has left, because she has more. How many more? So when we're comparing, we're going to subtract. Okay? Now, if we are putting things together, but they're all the same amount over and over again. So if, let's say, Lane is making some chocolate chip cookies, and she's going to put a certain number of chocolate chips, 5, into each cookie. She's putting them into each cookie, and we know how many cookies we have. Think about it in your head. If I said we have 4 cookies, and she's going to make sure she puts 5 chocolate chips into each cookie. So again, I'm drawing it to figure it out. We know how many cookies we have. We know how many chocolate chips. And then my question is, how many chocolate chips does she need in order to make all these cookies? We're trying to find out all of the chocolate chips together. So that's going to be 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. Well, that's multiplication. That's 4 times 5. Okay. If we, on the other hand, let's say we know how many chocolate chips we have. Let's say she has 40 chocolate chips. We know the total number of chocolate chips, all these chocolate chips. And now she's going to be splitting up those chocolate chips, okay, onto the 4 cookies. And I say, well, how many chocolate chips will be on each cookie? We don't know what we're adding together. We've got the whole thing. So that's going to be 40 split up, divided onto the 4 cookies to figure out how many are on each cookie. And then you can draw it and figure it out. That we're going to have 10 on each cookie. That's a lot of chocolate chips on each cookie. Okay? So one of the things I want you to start to think about with these word problems is what's happening. Do we have the whole thing and we're splitting it up evenly, like somebody sharing things evenly? Okay? Or if you, let's say you buy a bunch of books, okay? And let's say you buy 5 books and you pay $50. Well, that's for all of the books. That's the whole thing. And I say, well, how much did one book cost if they were all the same? That means take your $50. How much did each book cost? One of the books. That means we have to take our $50 and split it up. If we're splitting it up, it's dividing it into the 5 books to find out what one of the books cost. Okay? So that's going to end up being $10 for each book. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So one book would cost $10. 5 books cost $50. So to figure out one book, we have to split up those 5 books to find out how much we spent on each book. So that would be division. Okay? So let me give you a few problems here and have you guys solve them for me. And all you need to figure out is, are we adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing? Okay, so let's say that Nora has been writing some amazing poetry, and she has a journal now, and she has written, so far, 234 poems. She's written 234 poems. Okay. And then let's say that Dexter has written 197 poems. Okay. How many poems have they written all together if they put their journals together? Solve this for me. Are we adding, subtracting, and what is our answer going to be? Nora wrote 234 poems. Dexter wrote 197. How many poems have they written together? Write that equation for me and solve it. So you're going to write how many together. Then my question is, how many more poems has Nora written than Dexter? She's written more. How many more? So first, answer this one, how many together? Then answer how many more has Nora written? Okay. Now I hear the word more, usually that means we're adding something together, but think about it, we're comparing them. I'm not asking you to put them together, I'm asking they've both written 197, but then she kept going. How many more has she written? How do we figure that out? Adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing? Write it down for me. Okay. And remember, you can always pause this to write these down and solve them. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Let's say that Miss Quinn has been working in her math journal, and she has been doing a certain number of math problems on each page. Let's say that she has written 5 math problems on each page, and so far she has completed 7 pages. So how many math problems has she done? Now think about that. If you have to draw the 7 pages and put 5 problems on each page, whatever it takes to help you figure out, do we add, subtract, multiply, or divide? And I want you to write out your equation and solve it for me. Okay, so that's that problem. Now let's say that, Lane went to the store, and Lane is so thoughtful, okay? She is gonna buy everybody a stuffed animal. Oh, so nice, right? Okay, she wants everyone to feel good, so she's gonna go buy stuffed animals. So she gets one for everybody in the group, including herself. Okay, so that's, how many of you is that? 6 of you? Okay, so she buys 6 stuffed animals, and she pays $42 all together for those 6 animals. So the whole thing is $42. If she paid the same amount for each of those stuffed animals, how much did it cost just to get one stuffed animal? So she paid $42 for all of those stuffed animals, but now we just want to know how much it is for one of those stuffed animals. How can you solve that? And if you have to, again, draw the picture. Draw all 6 animals and start to put out your money, $1, $1, $1, until you figured out how much it costs for one stuffed animal. Are we adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing? Try to solve those problems, put them on a whiteboard, take a picture, put it on Seesaw.